I'm so nervous to do this. And let's try heating the water for 20 minutes. Alright, here it goes. Yo, it works. It's so green. So I've got most of the fittings installed on this freshwater tank. Got an inspection hatch. This is a vent port. This is the water fill port. This is 3/4 inch, 1/2 inch. This is a water level sensor. We go inside here. In the corner is actually the water pickup where all the water will come from. So I've just started assembling the aluminum extrusion enclosure for my water system. And I'm using this model that I created in SketchUp as a reference. This will be the enclosure for my water tank. Be where all of my ports are to fill the water, and I have different fastening points to help attach it into the van. So today I'm adding Loctite bolt fastener to all of the different 80/20 bolts and tightening it with this cool little tool, just to make sure that when the van is vibrating a ton and like bouncing down the road, all the bolts in this stay super tight. So this is a fill port. And then this is a wash down, like external shower connection port. This is this like marine grade shower mixer. And this will be a siphon port. So I basically diagrammed this all out and then ordered all of these components ahead of time because there's just so many different fittings here. I have boxes full of them. As you can see, the siphon port, fill port, garage spray down, mixing valve, kind of where all these connections lead. So I'm back. It's been probably about a week. I've been only doing this part-time for most of the summer, so like Thursday, Friday, Saturday when I can, but I've also been traveling a lot. Got my hair chopped off. I don't know if I showed you this last time I was on camera, but my original plan was to grow my hair out until I finished the campervan. But I also thought I'd finish the campervan in like 3 or 4 months, and it's been like 7 months or something. So I was getting pretty unwieldy, and I thought I'd kind of rejoin society a little bit with my hair. But this is what I'm working on in the background right now, the water system. Today I'm hoping to do some work on mounting the pump and accumulator and this water switch diverter. I just took off this wall panel, and it's pretty cool. Let me bring you closer. So if you haven't followed my other videos, I put on these white plywood walls, but here's a peek of what's actually behind the walls. So there's these furring strips, using riv nuts to attach into pre-existing holes in the van, bolted in with Loctite to help it from vibrating loose. And you can see some of just the electrical runs running behind the walls here. So these are all different wires going to outlets and different switches. So here's a quick example of what I'm doing to create all these plumbing connections. I'm using this PEX-A expansion tool. This thing is crazy. So this head expands these kind of O-rings, and then you have a few seconds to press the PEX-A connection into the O-ring, and then once the connection is made, it's like constantly shrinking. So I've made all these connections, and I'm hoping it will stay and it won't leak, but here's what this looks like. So first you kind of just make sure the connection lines up like you want to, and it's good to like kind of run through the motion, because you have to do it pretty quickly. So I'll expand this head for 7 clicks, set the tool down, and then press this into place. 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you hold that in place for a couple seconds. Spent most of the day working on this water system. I just got it fastened into the van walls and floor behind me, so it's super secure in there. There's the siphon port, the freshwater fill, the mixer for the hot and cold, and the mixed output coming to the exterior or the rear shower. This is a level sensor. Coming back, I have a vent. So in the case where air is draining from the tank, air actually will be pulled in through this check valve. If it needs to relieve air, it will come up here all the way over, and eventually it's going to drain out the bottom of the tank. I have 2 different sources of water. One is the freshwater tank, and the other is the siphon tube that I showed you over there. So if I turn this switch this way, water will be siphoned into the system, pumped through the pump, pressurized, and then all the lines will be pressurized with the siphoned water. I just have a big jug of water, fresh water. I can bring that, put that on the ground or into the van, connect a hose, small hose to it, and what I can do is suck water into the siphon port. The system will pressurize, and then I can actually connect the exterior shower on a small hose to the freshwater intake, and that will be sucking water up, fresh water from outside the van, pumping it, pressurizing it, and then pouring it right back down into the tank. And that's like kind of a hack way of siphoning and filling the tank with a portable jug. So I just got the van on risers out here tonight. What I'm focused on now is this area here and how to get this water tank with the hot water, cold water, and vent, like wastewater valve, mounted here. So I've got to connect together a lot of stuff down here. The drain line from the freshwater tank, the overflow and vent valve, this one right up here, and the wastewater connection of the water heater all need to connect together after this fitting, and they need to connect into this, which will be a through floor connection somewhere in here. I've been working on this water heater, or this water system, for about a month now. It's taken a long time. It's been quite complicated, but I've gotten it really, really far. I'm really happy with how it's gone so far. I've got it all very securely mounted with foam spacers to protect any sloshing or movement around on the water tank. So there's literally no movement to any of this. It's so strong in here. And once I get all these connected in, if I'm able to fit it all here and get the water heater mounted, I'll have kind of the entire underbed system done, which will allow me to make a really exciting step in this van build, which is installing that bed into these bump out slots. So I'll be able to put the aluminum bars in and create a plywood structure for the bed platform, and then design and order or figure out what I want to put for my actual bed mattress. But man, once the bed's in here, it's going to be so sick. It will be a huge step towards actual livability and sleeping in here. I've just been using this mattress over in the corner for nights that I want to camp out so far. Alright, so it's pretty early morning on Friday. I'm all masked up with messy hair. But my plan today and this morning is to try to drill a hole for the drain pipes through the bottom of the van. And right around here. So I just got the last components of this water system installed. I just wired up the water pump and filled the accumulator tank to the what I think is the right pressure. So this is ready to test now. I was out here really late last night plumbing up and installing this water heater, which was insane. It took so long. But I drilled a hole through the floor of the van and connected everything up with valves. If that already seems pretty complicated, it was. It was very complicated to build. To even add more complexity to this, for some reason, I designed this whole water siphoning system. I got kind of lost in the threads of like just deep in YouTube and the rabbit hole of van building. And I wanted to basically be able to have a portable jug. So instead of having a pressurized hose to fill up the water tank, I wanted to be able to like take a jug of water into the van and suck that up into the tank, or like a bucket or whatever. All right, here it goes. Crazy. It works. Yo, it works. All right, check this out. Okay, so I can turn my water pump on. Right here. And you can see I'm getting water out of the van, which is so sick. Now I want to test the siphon system for this water system. And to test that, I'm going to fill up a bowl of water and try to siphon that back into the tank. So I'll siphon up water into here, and then I'll spray the pressurized water back into my tank. Okay, I'm now testing filling up my hot water heater. So I just flipped the valve, open up the rear hot water valve. And now try seeing if the hot water output is pressurized. Whoa. So I believe that means that the hot water tank is full now. I'm going to refill this water tank and then test heating up the water. All right, so I had to get the towels out. I forgot to tighten this all the way to the fill hose, and it just was spraying everywhere, getting water all over the van. So it's quite wet around here. I'll just hook you in there. I kind of designed this in a way where it's all really open, and it's actually quite obvious how much water's in the tank. You can just see from like the water silhouette. So I need to figure out if there's any other steps before I turn on this water heater. Now I'm testing draining the hot water heater, pretending it's winter time and seeing how that works. Now the hot water tank is refilling. So in order to drain the hot water tank, there's an air bleeder valve where you take a screw out here
and then you turn a knob in the back here, and that will drain the hot water tank through this port in the floor of the van. All right, now time for the ultimate test, turning on the water heater. Let's go. How I'm using this is I have it plugged into a 120 volt GFCI 20 amp socket and a timer switch. So in order to heat the water, what I'll do is I'll turn on my inverter. I'm so nervous to do this. And let's try heating the water for 20 minutes. So now this circuit's on and this water heater should be running. I can see an AC load of 820 watts, which means this is definitely drawing a ton of power. So definitely not hot yet. Okay, so it looks like this has stabilized a bit. This water heater is pulling around almost 900 watts at 115 or 120 volts, whatever the AC system is. So it's pulling 68 amps out of the batteries right now. This tank's also very insulated, so the water hopefully will stay hot for like a day every time I heat it. So if I heat it just like once a day while on a drive, I should have hot water every day, hopefully. I'm gonna turn my van on and see what these stats look like if I'm also pumping alternator energy. So my alternator circuit is on. Okay, so now I can see I'm getting around 600 watts from the van. So now running the water heater is only pulling 250-ish watts from the battery. So this water heater's been running for a little over, like almost 8 minutes. Press turn on a little bit of hot. This is nice and warm, this water already. This is like plenty warm to wash your hands, wash dishes. It's not like scalding. Okay, so now I've been running the water heater probably for around a half hour. If I turn on full hot at my exterior washdown, it's got a low flow going. So this water is really hot. Getting hotter, hotter, hotter. It's now scalding, like it's too hot. Can't touch it. Whip it a little bit. So this is like really, really hot. This feels like a hot bath. I think I'm gonna take a drive around and make sure everything stays where it should be. Nothing explodes while the system's pressurized. The water system all seems to be functioning well. Which is such a relief. All of this crazy stuff down here with the water heater and drain and everything. The system's working though. I haven't noticed any problems with it yet. I just got the bed platform, cut the size, and I got a temporary bed in here. So I'll take you through what this looks like. Here's going in the garage under the bed. The aluminum crossbars. So now I'm inside the van. I just got a temporary mattress up here.